Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and welcome to the beautiful city of Paris, renowned for its elegance and sophistication. One of the things I love about Paris is the thrill of discovery. With 20 arrondissements or districts spanning 40 square miles, Paris is home to over 350,000 small businesses, each adding a unique touch to the Parisian way of life. Among the well-dressed, one shop in Paris stands alone as totally unique and utterly French. A shop dedicated entirely to providing discerning men with the finest over-the-calf dress socks. With over 1,000 styles in more than 200 colors, Mes Chaussettes Rouges, or My Red Socks in English, is a menswear mecca that must be experienced in person when visiting Paris. As I'm in Paris, I am doing just that. So join me as we travel to the 15th arrondissement to visit Mes Chaussettes Rouges and indulge in an afternoon exploring the world's finest dress socks. Jacques.
Hi.
Listen, bonjour.
Nice to see you, Kirby.
Bonjour, Kirby. Nice to see you.
You know, it's great to be back in Paris.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
So welcome back
thank
in
you, thank
Paris.
You know, I love this city, and one of the things I love most are these small shops that in some ways only exist in Paris.
Yeah.
Of which Mes Chaussettes Rouges is one of those.
Thank you.
Thank you. Every single time I come in here, it is just overwhelming. The sheer number of styles. And if I ever thought I had enough socks in my life, I come into Mes Chaussettes Rouges and it's very self-evident that I need more.
Yeah, thank you. So we have so many socks to show you, so many new socks, but maybe we can start with the beginning.
I mean, how many styles is it that now?
I think it's around 1,000.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, amazing. With a lot of material, cotton, wool, cashmere, silk, vicuña, linen, and also blends, cotton and cashmere, silk and cashmere, and so it makes a lot.
And of course, you have the boutique here in Paris, but you also have an online web shop. And so those that aren't able to experience this opulence in person can experience it virtually online.
Yeah, and actually we even started online. And in the beginning we were shipping, and then it became for us an evidence that we needed to have a physical store to show the material, because when you start having more material and more color with very subtle shades, people need to see the variation, and some easy to order and easy to see in Paris.
It's hard to believe that I think we started our businesses around the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 2007 and
2009.
Yeah.
So just 2 years after you.
So we actually go back a long way, because I remember the first time I actually came to Paris.
Yeah.
You know, we had dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
We
We
And there was no shop then.
Yeah, and we used to we drank côte rôtie. I remember we had a nice dinner together, and good memories.
Yeah. Well, how did it start? I mean, where did this crazy idea to create a web shop and now a retail shop exclusively dedicated to socks?
Actually,
I mean, this is as crazy of a story as developing a website for hangers.
yeah, I think it's as crazy to.
The word of an expert, you know.
So we start. I mean, we were students. We were still students, and Vincent wanted to go to Rome and to buy one of these socks from Gammarelli. Gammarelli is a tailor, and this tailor make outfits for ecclesiastics, so popes, cardinals, bishops, priests, and all ecclesiastic people you can imagine who goes to Rome and buy outfits, either for the liturgy or for every day. And so if you're not a priest or a cardinal, there is nothing to buy but these socks. And there were a story in France because former prime minister used to wear these red socks. So they are not very famous, but still some people in France,
connoisseurs
heard about these Gammarelli socks, and we heard also from about these socks.
And at this time, I mean, in order to buy Gammarelli socks, you could I mean, you had to go to Rome.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, it's a funny.
Thus the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A funny detail is that when we started, on their letter paper, there was no email address but a telegram number. And it was only 15 years ago, but still it was somehow another century.
Yeah.
And because it's this 200th century old company. Is a company of tradition.
Yeah.
And so it was difficult to get these socks. I wanted to get them. 2 times I went to Rome and found that the shop was closed. And so
Very Italian.
when I managed to get one pair, I thought that maybe I was not the only one trying to get these socks. And it was the beginning of internet. We created a website, bought a few pairs to see, and immediately we were out of stock. So we went to the shop and made the first contract to be an exclusive retailer for this brand.
And this is the namesake of the shock. You know, my red socks.
Exactly.
Mes Chaussettes Rouges.
It was the idea of this of a bright, full detail that enlightens an outfit, and we like this idea. And this red is really a very intense and beautiful red. So we like this.
And where did it go? You know, after Gamarelli, because these are just 3 styles. Now you have 1,000.
That was a problem.
So how did this insanity continue?
Yeah, so once we had these 3 colors, so many customers ask us, I love these socks because they're long. It's difficult to find long socks, light socks in
properly
Paris.
knit over-the-calf socks.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big problem in America, that most people think that over-the-calf socks are inherently uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's really that,
it's the opposite.
It's the opposite in so many ways.
Never fall down, so yeah.
And what is good with socks is that it's an experience that is very affordable.
Yeah.
You cannot say this with all luxuries because cars, apartments, suits can be very expensive.
Yeah, if you
but
want the best, it's
if
very
you want
expensive.
the best, it's expensive. But for socks, it's possible.
Yeah.
So many customers were very happy with these socks, but they wanted more colors. And at this time, we met a tailor making outfits for the French academicians. And it's a splendid...
Alan Stark, right?
Alan Stark,
Alan
exactly.
Stark.
And
We met him
yeah,
before he passed away.
Yeah.
This beautiful uniform embroidered with green silk.
Yeah, green silk. It's an olive tree branches on the outfits. And so we've selected this green. And this was the first socks, the first color Mazarin, the brand Mazarin made, and he gave these socks to for each academician, new academician. So with the outfits, and once we had this new collection, we expanded and widened the range of colors.
And as Mazarin, I mean, this is an exclusive brand to Mes Chaussettes Rouges.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's good for us to have the freedom of developing any style that we like, and it's one of the good things to have a shop is that you meet customers in person. It was something we didn't have when we only had a website, because you have to be extremely happy or extremely unhappy to send a message. In the shop, the conversation is very fluid. People say, I had an idea of something, a color, a thickness, and they express need more naturally. And so with Mazarin, we like to develop things when we feel that there is a need for something.
Yeah. And what does the name mean? Where does the name come from?
Mazarin is a former prime minister of, before Louis XIV and at the beginning of the reign of Louis XIV, who is Louis XIV, so the one who built Versailles. And so, and because when Louis XIII died, I think he was only maybe 4 or 9, but he was very young. So Mazarin was the one who ruled France.
And so he was a very famous prime minister, and he offered the building that now hosts the French Academy. So the French Academy is in charge somehow of making the dictionary and making sure that the French language is going in the good direction.
There is not too much English word in the word.
God bless the French.
This is the link between the name of the brand and the academy and this color. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. And to be inducted into the academy is an incredible honor. I mean, this is very important.
There are very few academicians. You have to wait for one of the academicians to pass away to get his seat, and then get elected. And so it's it's very difficult, and it's a great honor.
Yeah. How many are there?
40 for the French language, and then you have arts, science, and there are much more academician.
So we started with the Pope socks, and then we went to the Academy socks.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, one of the things I appreciated from the beginning is, just the story behind the socks. I mean, it really is kind of linking those wearing them to this long-standing tradition.
Yeah.
I mean, these socks are quite literally, until they were offered on your web shop, only available in Rome and made exclusively for the ecclesiastic community of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Mazarin, with its link to the Academy, right, with this green and how important of a component that is to French culture.
Yes.
Again, gives a meaning to this sock that makes it, even that much more special than just a simple, beautiful green sock.
Yeah, exactly. And what is funny is that Mazarin was born, the minister was born in Italy and then made so much for France. And these socks, they are also produced in Italy.
Have the same career.
And now
very authentic to his story, right?
But it's something that it's an idea that we like, that it's made in Italy, but then it's we are a French company, so it's on both countries.
Yeah. Again, you didn't stop here, right? I mean, you look around this shop, and it really is magnificent. There's just something visually rich about seeing all of these socks and all of these different colors, displayed out of the boxes for you to see. And it's one of the great, visual pleasures. I mean, to see all these colors and to realize that, whenever it comes to your sock, there's more than just black and navy.
Yeah. And what is funny is that when you are specializing into a very small area, you satisfy a lot of customers, but it's also frustrating for others because they think that they will find anything, in terms of they want a houndstooth blending a butter color and a rust color, and so it takes us to make always more styles, and so that's why we now have almost 1,000.
I mean, it's mind-boggling. We'll talk about some of the other socks. So these are 100% cotton.
100% cotton too.
And with a vertical rib. But we've got other styles here, right? You don't get to 1,000 just with these.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. So the many customers, they came here for the first time discovering knee-high socks, and they were super happy with the socks. They found the socks very comfortable, but as they are very thin and very light, they are a bit fragile. I mean, it's just like a Ferrari. With a Ferrari car, you cannot go in it's very expensive, it's very nice, it's working very well, but you cannot go in a forest with this car. If not, it will be broken. And maybe some people don't understand why it's broken. So with our socks, it was a bit the same issue because
they do require special care.
Yeah, they do special care, and they are very thin, so they have to be a bit fragile. And some of our customers expected a huge longevity from our 25 euro socks. So, and some of them were a bit disappointed. So we created a range of socks called super durable, so super solid
those
in French.
Expecting lightness were happy, but those expecting durability could be disappointed.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what we tell our own customers is, you have to trim your toenails, right? If you don't, you will wear holes, in the toe of your socks. And then also, if you're someone that has been buying the wrong size shoe because your socks have been too thick, and then all of a sudden you transition to a thin sock, well, all of a sudden your shoe can fit loose, and next thing you know, you're wearing a hole in the heel. But the sock is so important to experiencing the true and full comfort of a shoe.
Exactly.
That until you've worn something like this that's properly knit, you're also kind of selling yourself short just in comfort for the shoe.
Yeah, exactly.
for this customer who
Expected.
who expected
Durability.
more durability and less comfort and less lightness.
Less lightness, because the comfort is good.
Yeah, comfort is good too, but we've created these socks, so this is super durable, and they last a lot. And how do we know this? We know this because we have an abrasion machine that called the Martindale, and so it replicates
wear.
Exactly.
Yeah, wear abrasion, and
It rubs until holes appear, and it gives you a scientific metric, because between people there are huge differences. I never make holes in my socks, and Jacques can make holes very quickly. It depends on the way you walk, on many things.
I walk a lot.
Are you mending or darning your socks?
Yeah, of course.
And so with this machine you get a scientific metric, and that we use to compare the durability of socks.
So what is the difference in durability scientifically?
Scientifically, between 100% cotton and the super durable lasts 5 times longer.
So it's a big difference, and this is, it all depends on what you expect. And what is very interesting for us is that when you ask a customer coming in the shop and ask him, what do you expect from your socks? Sometimes they never ask themselves the question, so they don't even know. And at the end, even if they buy the first socks we were selling at the beginning, they're happier with the socks because they know why they bought these socks, and they know what to expect from the socks, what qualities they will find, and so you enjoy more when you expect it. So
how is this being achieved? I mean, because it's still a 100% cotton sock. There's no polyester.
There not polyester, there is polyamide with the yarn that we add. So the durability is achieved with it's a bit heavier. The yarn is a bit heavier. We add a yarn of polyamide, and then the knitting is also more dense. So if you combine the three, in the end, the socks have a very long durability.
I mean, it's a heavier sock.
It's a heavier sock.
almost 30% more. Yeah, 30% more heavier.
But still available in those traditional styles that one has come to expect from Mes Chaussettes.
Yeah.
For this one, we have, just for the long cotton super durable, we have 60 styles.
Yeah, so black navy, but also this contrast rib, these bird's eye socks.
Yeah, and the contrast rib is again something that's quite, popular.
Very popular.
That you're quite well known for as, offering, for those that enjoy a little bit more color.
Yeah, it's sometimes there is a base color that can be dark, and you have a color that stands out.
This is really nice.
It can be a good way to make a transition between the color of your suit and your shoes.
It's often a first step for many people wearing only, for example, navy socks. Yeah. It's the first
step to this.
First step to this, exactly. So they start with a navy and brown, and then they can go to the yellow. Yeah. You need transition.
Ease it in.
Yeah.
And what about these right here?
These one are other materials. So we have cashmere. So we have several thicknesses, but we took two to show the thin cashmere and silk. So the softness, as you can see, is excellent. It's really a dream, a cloud to walk on.
So this is a dress sock.
Yeah, dress socks, exactly. And then this is a heavier cashmere socks. So very soft also, very agreeable, but heavier. So for a more casual look.
Ski socks.
Yeah, ski socks, it needs to be cold outside to wear these socks because they are very warm.
It's quite thick.
It's a thick. So
with boots or when you're walking outside in the winter.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great example that you'd probably need a half-size larger shoe to wear a sock like this versus something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Then this is silk, 100% silk. So this one was knitted just here in Paris.
Yeah.
I mean, I love 100% silk. I feel like it's such an underappreciated fiber.
It's a magic fiber. The softness is amazing. It's
durable.
They're quite durable, and it's a bit more difficult to wash. I mean, you need to wash them
cold or by hand.
Yeah, and with no
detergent.
Detergent. It's very important not to use
to keep the gloss.
The gloss and the softness.
Well, that's my favorite. One of my favorite characteristics of a silk sock is that sheen.
Yes.
Right? It has an iridescence to it that, in my opinion, makes it one of the most elegant socks.
Yeah, exactly.
Silk socks are.
And most people think that 100% silk sock is just for black tie.
No, you can wear it every day. Huh?
You can wear it every day. And a ribbed silk sock, I think, is a great example of that because the rib makes it slightly less formal than just a solid.
Exactly. And then there is also this one, which is a Viguinia, a blend of Viguinia, cashmere, and silk. So very exclusive, very soft. So this is really an exceptional socks.
Wow. So Vicuña.
Vicuña, yes.
That is unbelievable. So this is, it has to be like what, the most expensive sock in the world?
Yeah, probably it's more than 500 euros.
No kidding. Wow.
And as we said, there is absolutely there are only natural fibers. They won't last the rest of your life. I mean,
don't walk around the house in your socks.
Exactly. They're very. But Vincent like to say it's like a good bottle of wine. A good bottle of wine does not last longer; it's just better. And this is more or less the same with the Vicuña, the cashmere and silk socks.
That's amazing. This is unbelievable. Cashmere, silk, and Vicuña.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's what's great about Mes Chaussettes Rouges is that, these otherwise obscure but, incredible opportunities to indulge, right, can be found here. Right? I mean, it's like the Charvet of socks, where you walk up onto the second floor at Charvet and you're just overwhelmed at the sheer magnitude of, shirting cloth, all on the bolts, again.
Just for white, you have a range.
I mean, it's like 300 shades of white. I mean, Charvet, again, also only available here in Paris. I mean, you can't experience that anywhere else in the world. And, Mes Chaussettes Rouges, again, there's not another sock department I've ever encountered in all of the world that even has one wall as many socks, much less an entire store of them.
Yeah, exactly. Charvet is an inspiration for us because when we heard that there are 300 whites, I mean, it's crazy, hard to understand. And it's a goal.
You tend to think that white is white, but there's more than this.
Yes. And certainly, that a dress sock is a dress sock.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have favorite socks? I mean, what are your go-to kind of favorites?
It really depends on the season.
Of course. And your mood.
And your mood. But I really like cashmere and silk for winter.
Okay.
Thin wool when it's a bit warmer. Lightweight cotton when it's very warm. Or no-show socks because it's something that's important.
Do you allow people in the shop that aren't wearing socks with their suits?
With the suits, no, it's very...
No, but I mean, everybody's free, but I don't think it's a good idea because wearing the advantage of no-show socks is that you get the comfort of socks and the coolness of no socks because the air flows freely around your ankles, and so you really feel the difference. And then, to answer your question, I really like also the super durable for the season, the mid-season, when it's... neither warm nor cold, the cotton super durable are really a good option.
Yeah, because it is, I'm sure, a slightly warmer sock than this really thin one.
The thicker, the warmer with the same material because they're not as warm as wool socks, for example, but still warmer than
heavier weight.
Yeah.
And what about yourself, Jacques? What's
I like also the super durable because
he's constantly
I make
wearing holes in his socks.
So I have less work at home downing the socks. And I like the cashmere and silk. Of course, it's just when you put it in the morning, you just feel that the day will be different. I mean, and all the day you feel it, and
there is something psychological about pulling a cashmere sock out of your sock drawer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things that if you're the only one that knows that you're wearing it, that's enough.
Exactly.
This one is a cashmere and silk. So this is the dress version of cashmere socks.
Okay.
You have the gloss of silk, and the touch also, the touch of cashmere, and this one when you put them on, it's really exceptional.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is a socks for purists, I mean for connoisseurs, because there is no polyamide at all, so they're a bit fragile, you need to
be careful.
To be very careful when you wear them, but it's fantastic. I mean, just putting them on in the morning, it's
How many
crazy.
colors do you have in the silk cashmere?
Almost
For
10.
this range, yeah, 10.
10 colors.
Yeah.
And I like colorful socks, and I also like a lot the vanise one. So with 2 yarn and one color appearing in the rib. So
I mean, like for instance, that red one might be a little bright for me, but this, beautiful baby blue and pink is actually really quite elegant, I think.
Yeah. This is very elegant. Yeah, with lights colored outfits. It's
the no-show, as we were saying, is not visible when you wear the shoes, and it protects your feet, it protects the shoes, and it really gives you more comfort. And I think it's something that you need. And even if you wear shorts in the summer, you cannot wear knee-high socks. So it's good to have, if you want to have the comfort of socks and not feeling your feet that sticks to the shoe, the leather of the shoe. It's very agreeable to have this in between.
So it's a linen cotton blend, but 85% linen and cotton natural fiber. Which for something like a no-show is actually probably impossible to find. Right?
Yeah,
it's probably
exactly.
like 50% polyester.
Yeah, exactly.
Which in some ways defeating the purpose because the polyester is going to cause your feet to perspire.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So linen is a fantastic fiber for summer because it can retain the humidity up to 30% of its weight. So it's very efficient for summer for people who perspire.
I love linen socks. I mean, after, what is it, almost 15 years?
Yeah, 15 years this summer.
So where to next, and then, I guess is the question.
Then even if we have 1,000 styles, for most of the people it's crazy to have so many socks, but we still have customers who don't find exactly what they want. And for all this one, we started a bespoke socks service.
Bespoke socks.
Yeah, bespoke socks. So I think we are the only one in the world offering this service.
Okay.
And a customer can come in the shop and ask for the socks he wants. I mean, we have only one machine, so it needs to be a thin socks, but it can be cotton socks, it can be silk socks, it can be cashmere and silk socks. So, and then the customer can have almost everything he wants.
Yeah, and what are some examples of why someone would have bespoke socks? I mean, other than the obvious reason, because you can.
This is a good reason.
Beyond the pleasure of having the bespoke socks, it can be either for a specific color. If you have a suit that and you want something that really matches your suit. If you want, we were talking before about vanise socks that blends 2 colors. If you want to mix 2 colors because you want something to mix your suit color and your shoes color, so it can be a reason, a specific color. It can be a specific color in a specific material. If you want orange linen, we can do this. It can also be for comfort. If you are very tall, if you are very skinny, if you are very long feet. So if you want socks to be very tight or very loose, we can set the machine to a 1/12 of a millimeter in terms of length. So you can adjust it very precisely.
Our first customer for this bespoke service was Teddy Riner. He's a French guy, 10-time world champion of judo.
Okay.
And he's, very, very tall and so strong that he never had a proper socks of his life. Since he's 13 years old, because he's so big and so tall, and so this for him the socks bespoke sock service was very good. And we also have our largest order. It was a prince who wanted the socks with the same patterns and socks he found, and these socks used to belong to his father, the king, and he wanted exactly the same socks with the same pattern. So, you need to have a bespoke service for that kind of request.
And where are these socks made?
Just next door.
Here?
Yeah,
sure.
in Paris.
No kidding. So you have your own bespoke sock factory here in Paris.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's very funny to have we are the only customers in Paris for the needles maker. In his book records, he never found another customer in Paris. So it was very interesting, and it was a challenge for us to bring this machine, to have the machinery that accompanies this very beautiful machine, knitting socks just here.
Wow.
And what is nice is even for customers who don't need or want bespoke socks, they can see how the machine works and how complex it is to make proper socks.
Yeah, because in people's mind, socks is something that is very common, and they imagine that it's very easy to knit. And when you see the machine that is very, very precise, that requires that is tuned like a beautiful watch, it's very impressive to see what it takes to make a socks.
There is almost 2 kilometers of yarn in one pair of socks, and if
2 kilometers.
if there is 1 millimeter wrong, I mean the whole socks is lost. So everything needs to be perfectly tuned, and you will see it. It's a very complex machine.
Wow. Shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. This is incredible.
Yeah, this is a very nice machine. 240 needles, made in Italy, not far from Milan. And the company is Busi Giovanni. And what is fantastic is why are Italians so good at making socks? Is that they make the socks, but they also make the machine who produce the socks, and they make the yarn. So there is a whole industry from the machines to the socks completely made. This is a cutting edge knitting machine. It's made in Italy at Busi Giovanni. And it's not the company is not far from Milan, between Milan and Brescia, and all companies working in the socks industry. So company making machines or yarn or even socks, of course, and they all work in this same small area in Lombardy. And this machine is cutting edge because they all use patents of the other companies. So I mean, the last 200 years of research and engineering are in this machine. So this is this is why it's very fascinating machine, very complex.
Yeah, and it's amazing to see, the cones of yarn that are being used in the circular knitting machine that then, produce an incredible over-the-calf dress sock.
It's like a crown.
Yeah, really.
With all the reels and the cones. And
truly next level. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And where does the bespoke process begin then for a client that, is interested in, truly indulging in the finest knitted socks in the world?
Yeah, of course, we first need to choose the color and to
select the yarn.
And it's important for us to understand what the customer expects from the socks. So if he expects comfort, if he wants the elastic to be very tight, or on the opposite, very loose because he has very large calf. So I have a lot of questions for him just to understand perfectly what he wants. And then we have, of course, measurement. For people with regular feet, it's of course faster. But for people with either very long, very tall, very wide, very tiny, it's a bit more complex.
Yeah.
But once I have the measurements, we need to make tests because it's not all about measurement. The customer has to feel how the socks is and if it fits to his expectations.
Yeah, one thing that's important that with socks is that there is elasticity. When you wear a suit or a shoe, there is no elasticity. And with the socks, there is also this dimension. it can look like it fits, but actually it's too tight, or it can. So you have to adjust depending on how the customer feels when he wears the first prototypes.
Yeah. And is a customer just choosing from the available yarns you have here?
So both. I mean, it's easier when we already have the yarn. It's faster. But for large order, you can choose from the book, for example. This is our last customer ordered.
Piana.
Yeah, cashmere and silk. Wow. So the cashmere and silk for the bespoke, we only buy them at Loro Piana, and there are so many shades and for some customers, and it's crazy to have so much choice, even only for silk and cashmere.
Yeah, this is just one of the many yarns.
Yeah, one of the many yarns, as you say.
Well, incredible. So if I wanted to have something made that maybe matched this suit, this is one of my favorite kind of summer suits, right? But it's difficult to match a sock. Either I'm with a navy, which is a little bit contrasting and dark, or something that's in some ways too light colored.
So you want exactly the same color, or do you want?
I'd say,
matching.
Given my English taste, something matching, something conservative.
We have something.
We have something. We'll find something. Have a seat.
Okay.
So we'll first measure your feet.
This is unbelievable. I mean, even for me, I never thought I'd have a pair of bespoke socks made.
Yeah, it's.
This is taking it to do you do underwear as well?
Yeah, no, not yet. So, I just. Okay, excellent. So, it's very important. Actually, it's very important to have the length, but also the width, because it's a volume. What is important is to have a rough idea a clear idea, of the volume of your feet, because at the end, that's the volume that matters for the socks. So let me write it down. Okay, excellent. So now I will start a first prototype. The prototype are made in cotton, and then once we have this first prototype, we will try, and then if we need to fix something, we will do it.
Okay. So this is a trial fitting.
Yeah, exactly. So I've put your initials.
And so this is an example of the type of customization as you're actually knitting into the sock itself, my initials versus monogramming, which would be uncomfortable.
Yeah. When it's embroidered, it's much thicker, and you feel it much more. So what is good when it's in the program is that it's much lighter. So you see, all your toes are protected by the brown part, which is reinforced. Okay. Then the heel.
Now, is that something that can be adjusted?
Yeah. the heel is good because this line here
Bisecting.
of your heel. So this is good, and it's important that the ribs are very straight.
How do you think the length?
Yeah, the length is not good. You see, it could be at least 1 inch longer.
Okay.
So let's do a new prototype. It will be the rib part which will be longer, and
And so talk to me about, I mean, this of course is the pattern of the sock, and then we have this right here, and then the top, which is elastic.
So this is a 1 by 1 rib with the elastic. So I like when it's large, this part is large, because so you can have a loose elastic, but as it's very large, the socks will never fall down.
Okay.
And this is also 1 by 1 rib that gives more elasticity. And as it's hidden by the trousers, it's more elastic than this rib. And this rib gives a pattern, so it's brown and red. And but this is enough, so we will. It's this part that will be
where
longer.
we add the inch.
Yeah.
This 1 by 1 right here is what's allowing the sock to stretch over the calf.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you have large calves, this extra part right here is very important.
Yeah, and it could be longer, and your calf is very regular, so not too thin, not too big. But I can also adjust the stitch length, and when each stitches are longer, it make a looser sock, so it's more fragile and more see-through. But also for large calf, it's better. So here I need 5 centimeter, an additional 5 centimeter. So I will adjust on the machine, because this programming is made on computer, but once the program is on the machine, I can still make a few adjustments, like the length of all these parts. So I will change it. Give me 15 minutes, and I come back with a new prototype.
Yeah. How long does it take to knit the sock? That quickly?
For almost 10 minutes.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. So this one is longer. If it's too long, we'll adjust. If it's still too small, we'll do even longer.
Amazing. It's impressive, I mean, how quickly the machine works.
Yeah, it's crazy, because the machine can make up to 40,000 stitches per minute. Okay. So this is completely crazy.
Wow. And so someone, if they're going through the bespoke process, could literally come spend an afternoon here and kind of go through, these iterations in person.
How does it feel now?
No, this is much better.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, now is I think it's much better. It could, if you want even longer.
I don't think so. No, because I don't want it in the crook of my knee.
You don't want to feel it
right here.
Yeah. So the fit is still good. You still have your initials here, and if
I like that. And I saw this sock right here that actually has, a pattern woven into it. Right? Can you actually integrate artwork this complex into? Yeah,
it's possible, of course. I've done this one, and it's. I'd be very happy to do any pattern you would like to have on your socks.
Yeah. And so that's, I would imagine, anyone that's having bespoke socks, are they all putting their monogram there?
Most of them, not all of them. Some ones that don't even want to have their monogram, but most of them, it's very, at home, when you have your son with the same sock size, it's easier for to sort the socks, because everyone can see that it's your socks and not the one of your son.
Yeah, don't steal my bespoke socks.
Yeah, exactly.
Great, so I think that this is fantastic. So now we can knit something in the actual kind of final fiber.
Yeah, exactly. You can choose all the cashmere socks and the silk socks you want, or the cotton socks, of course. If you want a colors that match exactly, we will see all the yarn we have and see if we find something good for you.
So I'll take your recommendation on color, and then can we knit a sample, for color matching while I'm here today?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. So this is I find this color in socks. So in cotton, I don't have exactly the perfect color, but maybe you can try this one made out of silk here. So it's a very, very light. We call it veil sock. So it's,
And here it's a red contrasting.
Yeah, exactly.
monogramming.
Yeah, I kept the red for the
I love it.
for the contrast. It's not a proper socks, but just for you to have an idea of what it gives as a color.
Wow, let's just see what this looks like. Wow, I mean, that is fantastic.
Yeah, very light. So it's even lighter than the previous one. And
I mean, look how beautifully that matches.
Yeah.
I mean, this suit, I've never been able to find anything that, really matches and that gives that continuity of kind of length and color, the visual height. And the 100% silk, I mean, look at the shine. I mean, that is truly superb.
And this one is very, very light. And so for today's in Paris, it's very warm. So I think you will have a great evening with these socks.
So then what's the next step? I mean, this is just something to validate the color. And then if I wanted to order, half a dozen of these, that's something that you could make today?
No, I need more time because I will need 1 or 2 weeks. But it can be done quite quickly. More or less 1 or 2 weeks.
Wow, that's incredible. Wow, I mean, this is absolutely incredible. With the Bespoke program is an indulgence that I never thought existed.
It's always funny to have that kind of crazy project. If you think before doing them at all the problem you will have, you won't start them because so much complexity. It's so many obstacles, but still, once it's done, it's very satisfying because you see you have socks you never had before. So
and I love the the red monogram right there, right? And I mean, it seems like the sky is the limit in terms of what can be done.
Exactly. Creating new possibilities of indulgence.
Yeah, I mean, even just differentiating in terms of where that extra 1.5 to 2 inches is added, whether or not it's added to the leg of the sock or the this gabbietta, or I think the Italians call it.
Exactly.
Is unbelievable.
Yeah. I'm glad you appreciate all our work. But as I said, even people who don't buy the Bespoke service, they are very happy to see how it's made and
the complexity.
How difficult it is.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, I'll never turn back. Once you break that barrier, there's no turning back. And so I don't know if I should thank you. Or be upset because this is absolutely fantastic.
Sorry, Kirby.
Well, Vincent, Jacques.
I mean, it was a pleasure.
This is.
It was very nice to see you again. And to show you this new machine, new service.
Well, as I said, I mean, anytime I'm in Paris, I mean, this is one of my favorite shops to visit. Because
it's always a pleasure to see you.
The discovery. And here with the, this Bespoke sock program, being able to actually see socks knit for you, I mean, what an indulgence. I mean, that's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.